The salesman in rural Japan keeps repeating the price like he thinks you didn't hear him. Brand new K-car, warranty, aircon, safety tech, under $10,000 equivalent. Meanwhile, in the US, a buyer stares at a base compact pushing $25,000 before sneaky fees. Same century, same basic ingredients. Steel, plastic, glass, lithium, code. Two totally different realities. America, home of Ford's assembly line legend, somehow can't put a truly cheap new car in your driveway anymore. The last low-price nameplates, Spark, Mirage, Rio, either vanished or cling to life with dealer add-ons inflating their budget badge into a joke. So what cracked? And why do Japan, China, even parts of Europe still roll out fresh, city-sized cars for pocket change, while an American entry level now means just under the average salary? To see how bizarre this is, we have to peel back the hidden walls that box the US market in, and the first wall wasn't built by shoppers at all. A decade ago, US lots still had 12,000 to 15,000 subcompacts. Manual windows, cloth seats, nothing fancy. Dealers grumbled. Thin margins. Same hour of paperwork as a luxury SUV, 1/4 the profit. Incentive dollars chased bigger metal. Finance managers could stretch monthly payments on pricier crossovers by quietly lengthening loan terms, so sticker shock got dulled. The starting price rung of the latter simply disappeared. Once gone, every new buyer had to jump higher just to enter the market. This wasn't only preference drift, it was slow pruning. Cut the low trims, claim nobody bought them, then use the absence to justify more pruning. Pressure was building from rules that hit small footprints hardest. That pressure shows up when you open a door and see what got stuffed into the frame rails and pillars. Modern safety rules save lives, no argument. But making a tiny car survive US frontal, side, offset, and roof crush tests against a traffic mix full of giant pickups is like basically you punching a paper cup. You add high-strength steel, more airbags, sensors, inflators, pretensioners, thicker door beams. Each layer adds cost and often pounds. More weight demands stronger brakes, different tires, recalibrated stability logic. A spiral. In Japan, a K car competes inside a class purpose-built with strict size and power caps. The ecosystem expects that scale. In America, a hypothetical microcar faces crash expectations, framed by collisions with vehicles twice its mass. Engineering cost per unit explodes when volume is limited. The sticker creeps upward before the car even touches a dealer lot. Yet that doesn't explain why China now throws out low-cost EV runabouts like confetti, while US automakers quietly retire base trims. For that, follow the density of suppliers across the Pacific. China didn't just subsidize factories, it cultivated clusters, battery cell plants next to cathode refiners, next to aluminum Geiger casting lines, next to wiring harness shops, next to software integrators. Logistics distances shrink. Learning curves compound. A budget EV city car there can reuse standardized motors, controllers, LFP battery modules, infotainment cores. Costs slide down a smooth ramp with each doubling of cumulative output. In the US, fragmented suppliers spread across states or continents introduce shipping, coordination, and inventory drag. Launching a unique ultra-low-cost platform here means betting on a huge buyer pool that current dealer networks and marketing narratives have already trained to step up into a crossover anyway. So instead of a fresh, cheap chassis, brands stretch a modular platform, add soft touch panels, push an optional tech package, and recover margin. But even if a manufacturer wanted to brute force a $10,000 car, it slams into an old institution, the franchise dealer model. A $9,000 new car leaves almost no oxygen for a multi-layer markup chain. US franchise dealers rely on per-unit gross, finance office products, service retention, and accessory add-ons. A rock-bottom sticker starves that system. So two things happen. 1. Cheap cars get option-walked into higher trims on the lot. Or 2. The nameplate gets killed due to lack of demand. Direct-to-consumer experiments could compress that cost stack, but most legacy contracts lock distribution in place. Emerging EV startups talk efficiency, yet they launch mid to premium first, chasing investor stories of high average selling price, not bare-bones mobility. Dealers, meanwhile, prefer moving a loaded crossover that yields 3 times the gross and still qualifies for the same or better incentives. While that structural barrier holds, another softer but powerful force rewires what Americans feel about small cars, making it emotionally easier to ignore the missing bottom segment. For decades, marketing equated bigger with safer, more practical, more American. Wide parking spaces, long commutes, historically cheap gas. These let the shift happen with little pain. One neighbor upsizes for safety, the next follows. Automakers read early sales shifts, redirect R&D, then underinvest in fresh, small models. Fewer launches equals stale designs. Stale designs sell worse equals proof the segment is dead. Loop complete. Overseas, dense cities, narrow streets, tax brackets tied to engine displacement or external dimensions keep constant, profitable demand for truly small cars. That steady demand funds incremental refinement, lighter seats, smarter packaging, cheaper modular electronics. Foreign engineers get continual reps at squeezing cost while preserving perceived quality. Meanwhile, in the US, the shrinking of the small car engineering bench makes any attempt to relaunch a microsegment feel like risky reinvention, not routine update. Still, cultural perception alone doesn't bolt thousands to the MSRP. A quieter driver sits inside the wiring harness and code base of every car you see. Even base trims now drag along a tech spine. Touchscreen interface, backup camera, multiple airbags with smart deployment logic, tire pressure monitoring, emissions aftertreatment, OBD sophistication, advanced driver assistance scaffolding, even if higher-level functions are paywalled, cybersecurity gateways, over-the-air update readiness. Individually, component costs can fall over time. Collectively, integration, validation, and regulatory compliance create a floor. Software teams, security audits, sensor fusion testing, these are fixed costs spread better across vehicles with richer margins. In Europe or Japan, you can still spec brutally simple variants or exploit protected microcategories, K regulations, A-segment traditions, where expectations are constrained and feature thinning is socially normal. In the US, a stripped variant missing popular comfort tech becomes a marketing liability. Reviewers call it penalty box, buyers skip it, dealers refuse inventory, incentives and tax credits often flow to cleaner tech, great, but they mostly nudge vehicles already mid-priced, not resurrect a true bargain broomstick four-seater. Which raises the question, is America permanently priced out of cheap new cars, or is a reset hiding in the next wave of modular EV design? America doesn't lack cheap new cars because engineers forgot frugality. It lacks them because layered incentives, safety harmonization against heavy traffic, dispersed supply chains, franchise margin needs, cultural size signaling, and obligatory tech stacks squeezed margin until the lowest rung snapped off. Other regions carved protected niches or built dense supplier webs that keep their bottom rung intact and continuously refined, until the US creates a distinct regulatory dogs lightweight microcategory, accelerates hyper-modular domestic EV platforms at massive scale, or structurally reforms distribution to survive on thinner per-unit profits. The sub-$12,000 new car remains a curiosity you glimpse overseas. The story isn't that Americans won't buy cheap cars, it's that the market architecture quietly made sure they almost never get the chance. Comment your thoughts down below as we would love to hear them. Also consider subscribing for more content like this. It helps us know to make more videos like this one. Thanks.